I stand before you today, not as a person who has reached the summit, but as someone who has seen the bottom. I've seen it so close that I could distinguish every grain of sand, every stone, felt the cold and darkness. And do you know what I realized there, at the very bottom? The beginning of a journey never determines its end. History is crowned not by the beginning, but by the end. This truth haunts us every day, but we prefer to ignore it. Why? Because it's easier to give up at the start than to fight until the finish. It's easier to say, I wasn't born into the right family. I didn't have opportunities. I wasn't blessed with the right genes. All these are excuses of the weak. Every great ending was once an unremarkable start. Every empire began with a single stone. Every masterpiece with a blank canvas. But do you know the difference between mediocrity and greatness? The ability to continue when everyone around says, enough. Society is obsessed with success stories. We like to hear about instant rises, sudden insights, miraculous coincidences, but these are all myths. Beautiful fairy tales for those who fear real work. Real success is a daily battle with your own laziness, fears, and doubts. I've seen people who started from nothing and rose to the top of the world, and I've seen those who had everything from birth but ended up in the dirt and oblivion. The difference between them isn't in their starting conditions. The difference is in their determination to write their own ending. The world is full of unfinished stories, full of unwritten books, unbuilt houses, unrealized ideas. Why? Because most give up halfway. They start with enthusiasm, and then, faced with the first serious obstacle, they retreat. They run from difficulties, not understanding that difficulties are what make a story great. Do you think anyone will remember your excuses? Who cares how hard it was for you? The world only remembers results. The world only honors those who finish what they started, no matter what. Every day you write your story. Every decision, every choice, every action is a line in your book, and the final chapter, that's what people will read. That's what will remain after you. Do you know what distinguishes winners from losers? Not talent, not luck, not connections, but the ability to keep moving when your body screams with pain and your mind begs to stop. The ability to see the goal even in pitch darkness. The ability to believe in an ending that hasn't been written yet. Within each of us live two forces. One pulls us back, to comfort, to safety, to the familiar. The other pushes us forward to the unknown, to risk, to greatness. And every day, we make a choice between them. Every day we decide what our story will be. I've met people who started in basements and ended up in penthouses, met those who started illiterate and ended up as best-selling authors, met yesterday's vagabonds who became today's leaders. What unites all these stories? An unbending will to finish what they started. Your past is just a prologue. Your mistakes are just drafts. Your failures are just lessons. All this is just the beginning. But what will be remembered is the end. Imagine a marathon runner who leads the entire distance but gives up a few meters before the finish line. Who will remember his leadership? No one. They only remember those who cross the line. I don't believe in fate. I don't believe in predestination. I don't believe in innate talent. I believe in perseverance. I believe in discipline. I believe in a person's ability to surpass themselves when everyone around has already written them off. Every great achievement in human history was the result not of a brilliant start, but of continuous forward movement. Every breakthrough was the consequence of thousands of failed attempts that did not make the inventor give up. Do you know why most people live mediocre lives? Not because they lack opportunities, but because they lack persistence. They are ready to start 100 things, but not ready to complete even one. Our culture is obsessed with quick results. We wait for instant transformations, immediate solutions, magic pills. But real changes take time. Real success requires patience. Real greatness requires a willingness to suffer today for tomorrow's triumph. Look at any person who has reached the top and you will see scars. Scars from falls, from betrayals, from failures. But these scars are not a sign of weakness. They are medals for resilience. I don't promise you that the path will be easy. On the contrary, I guarantee it will be hard. There will be moments when you want to give up everything. There will be days when you doubt yourself. There will be people who say you're crazy. And that's okay, because every great ending requires great sacrifices. We live in a world that teaches us to fear failure, that tells us that a mistake is a disaster. But the truth is that without failures, there is no growth. Without mistakes, there is no experience. Without falls, there are no rises. Imagine that your life is a book and you are its author. You decide what each chapter will be. You determine what the end will be, not your circumstances, not other people, not coincidences, only you. Do you know what I see when I look at you? I see potential. I see possibilities. I see a power that slumbers within. But potential without action is nothing. Possibilities without determination are empty sounds. Power without direction is useless. Every day we face a choice to give up or to continue, to retreat or to move forward, to accept defeat or to fight for victory, and each such choice determines what our end will be. History knows many examples of people who changed their future with one decision. The decision not to give up when everyone around had already thrown in the towel. The decision to see opportunities where others see only obstacles. The decision to believe in yourself when no one else believes. We too often forget that life is not a sprint, but a marathon. It doesn't matter how fast you started. What matters is how strongly you finish. I've met people who lost everything, money, health, loved ones, but they didn't lose the main thing, faith in themselves. And it was this faith that allowed them to rise again and again until they reached their goal. Do you know what the secret of success is? Not in special knowledge, not in unique abilities, but in the willingness to do what others don't want to do, in the willingness to endure what others are not willing to endure, in the willingness to sacrifice what others are not willing to sacrifice. Every time you put off a task until tomorrow, you delay your success. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you choose mediocrity over greatness. Every time you say, "I can't," you program yourself for defeat. The world doesn't wait for you. Time won't stop. Opportunities won't patiently stand in line. Either you act now, or later you'll regret what you missed. I'm not asking you to take my word for it. Look around. Look at those who have reached heights in their field. Ask them if their path was straight and smooth. Ask how many times they thought about giving up. Ask what made them continue when it seemed there was no way out. Do you know what they'll tell you? That the secret is not to give up. That every day you take a step forward, even if that step seems microscopic. That you understand. Every action, every decision, every thought is a brick in the building of your finale. We often forget that great achievements are made up of small victories, of daily efforts, of routine work that nobody sees or values. But it is this invisible work that determines the visible result. I've seen people lose millions and restore them in a few years. Seen the sick rise from their beds contrary to doctors' predictions. Seen entire companies rise from the ashes. What unites all these stories? The determination not to let the beginning define the end. Your circumstances are not a sentence. Your past is not a prophecy. Your mistakes are not a definition. All this is just lines in a book that you are still writing. Every day is a new page. Every morning is a new opportunity to change course. Every moment is a chance to start writing a new story. But remember, it's not the beginning of this story that will matter, but how you end it. I know what you're thinking now. You're thinking, easy to say, hard to do. And you're right. The path to a great ending is never easy, but is anything truly worthwhile ever easy? Imagine you're on your deathbed. Looking back at your life, what will you see? A list of things you started but didn't finish. Dreams you abandoned at the first difficulty? Goals you traded for comfort and security? Or will you see a story of struggle and overcoming? A story of a person who didn't let the world determine their fate? A story that will inspire those who come after you? The choice is yours. And this choice you make not sometime in the future, but right now. With every decision, with every action, with every thought. I can't walk this path for you. No one can. It's your story, and only you can write it. But I can tell you one thing. The price you'll pay for action will never be higher than the price you'll pay for inaction. Fear of failure paralyzes. It makes us stay in our comfort zone, avoid risks, settle for less. But the real tragedy is not in trying and failing. It's in not even trying. Every great ending begins with a decision not to be like everyone else, a decision not to give up when it gets tough, a decision to believe in yourself even if the whole world doubts. I don't know where you started. I don't know what you've had to go through. I don't know how many times you've fallen and risen, but I know one thing. Your story isn't over yet, and the ending depends only on you. Don't let your beginning dictate your end. Don't let past failures determine future victories. Don't let others' expectations limit your possibilities. Write your story so that in the end you can say, I did everything I could. I gave everything I had. I became everything I could become. Because ultimately, what matters is not how you started, but how you finished. And this ending is being written right now with every choice you make, every decision, every action. History is crowned not by the beginning, but by the end. And this end is in your hands. Only in your hands.